Wonders of Great Britain. The real Great Britain. Most people will never see. Travel guide. Here is something most people never realize. Almost 90% of Great Britain's most spectacular landscapes are nowhere near the tourist routes. While millions crowd around the same few landmarks, some of the most extraordinary places, ancient forests, secret coasts, forgotten ruins, sit quietly just a short wander away, untouched and rarely talked about. It always fascinates me how a country so well photographed can still hide so many jaw-dropping surprises behind hedgerows, cliffs, and winding roads. Today, we are stepping into the Britain that does not make it onto postcards, the real one, the quiet one, the one where beauty shows up in unexpected corners and stuns you without warning. If you think you know Great Britain, this journey might completely rewrite the version you have in your mind. The Quiraing, Isle of Skye. The Quiraing feels like Great Britain secretly borrowed a slice of another world and tucked it into the Isle of Skye. The landscape rises and drops in dramatic shapes, with green cliffs twisting like they were carved by ancient hands. Some people think the ruggedness will feel overwhelming, but once you step onto the path, the silence and open space create a kind of calm that absorbs you instantly. Clouds drift low over the ridges, shadows sweep across the hills, and the wind carries a softness that makes everything feel strangely comforting. Even if you have seen photos, nothing prepares you for how surreal and alive the scenery feels when you stand there in person. The Lost Valley of Glencoe, Scotland. Hidden behind towering mountains in Glencoe is the Lost Valley, a place that feels almost intentionally concealed by the landscape. The trail slips between cliffs and boulders before suddenly opening into a quiet green basin that feels centuries removed from the modern world. The narrow entrance might make people think the valley will feel tight or closed in, but what waits inside is this wide, peaceful amphitheater of grass, stones, and light. The surrounding peaks wrap the valley like an embrace, and the way the wind moves through the space creates a sense of calm that settles deeper the longer you stay. It is a place where history whispers through the stones, but the stillness carries a gentle comfort instead of heaviness. Durdle Door's Hidden Paths. Dorset. Most people only see Durdle Door from the busy cliffside viewpoint, but if you wander a little farther along the lesser-known paths, the coastline transforms into something far more intimate and breathtaking. The cliffs roll in soft curves, the water shifts between blues and greens like liquid glass, and small coves appear in places you would never expect. Visitors sometimes assume the coast will feel crowded or noisy, but these quiet stretches offer the exact opposite. Gentle waves, warm breezes, and the feeling of having stumbled into a private corner of Britain's coastline. The natural arch of Durdle Door looks even more striking from the side angles where fewer people stand, and the way the sunlight catches on the water makes the whole scene glow. Puzzlewood, Forest of Dean. Puzzlewood feels like stepping into a story you read as a kid, the kind where moss-covered stones and twisting roots make every step feel like part of a hidden journey. The pathways wander through ancient woodland that looks almost enchanted, with green light filtering down in shimmering patches. Some people imagine woods like this will feel dark or tangled, but Puzzlewood has a warm charm to it, the kind that makes you slow down and notice small details like the curve of a vine or the layers of moss on a rock. The silence is soft rather than still, and the whole atmosphere wraps around you like a gentle secret. It is one of the easiest places to feel like Great Britain kept a piece of its ancient soul untouched. The Outer Hebrides Secret Beaches. The beaches of the Outer Hebrides look almost unreal with their white sand, turquoise water, and long stretches of coastline that remain astonishingly quiet. The first glance might make people expect icy, unwelcoming shores, but the atmosphere is surprisingly calm and inviting. The breeze feels light, the waves look crisp and clean, and the scenery opens into wide horizons that almost feel endless. Even on days when the sky is gray, the water holds an incredible brightness, creating a contrast that feels both peaceful and invigorating. These are the kinds of beaches where you can walk for an hour and feel like you are the only person who knows the place exists. Wistman's Wood, Devon. Wistman's Wood is a small patch of ancient oak forest that feels older than memory itself. The twisted trees, thick moss, and giant boulders create a scene that almost seems frozen between myth and reality. Some people expect a place like this to feel eerie, but the atmosphere here is gentle, quiet, and welcoming in an unexpected way. The light filters through the branches in soft beams, and the forest floor carries a cool calmness that makes you want to explore slowly. Everything feels untouched and carefully held by time, like nature decided to preserve this little corner, just as it was centuries ago. It is one of Britain's rare spots where you instantly feel the weight of history, but in a soft and peaceful way. The fairy pools of Skye's lesser-known streams. The fairy pools are famous, but the streams that branch out above and around them stay wonderfully overlooked. These hidden sections of the river hold small cascades, quiet pools, and narrow channels where the water glows a pale blue under the sunlight. Some visitors expect the area to be crowded, but these upper reaches feel incredibly peaceful, with the sound of moving water echoing through open space. The hills rise gently around each pool, and wildflowers scatter across the grass in small bursts of color. It is the kind of place where even a short pause feels grounding, and the simplicity of the flowing water draws your attention in without effort. The Mock Loop, Wales. In the valleys of Snowdonia sits the Mock Loop, a winding stretch of landscape surrounded by rolling hills that create a natural amphitheater. The area is famous among certain communities, yet remains unknown to most travelers. When you stand on the ridges, the view stretches in soft waves of green and brown, and the peacefulness of the valley settles over you like a blanket. Some people expect cliffs or sharp drops, but the land slopes in gentle curves that feel welcoming and open. The air is crisp, the hillsides glow in different shades depending on the light, and the whole scene carries this calming sense of space that you instantly feel in your chest. It is one of the most quietly beautiful places in Great Britain. The Isle of Harris Mountains. The mountains of Harris are often overshadowed by its beaches, but they hold an atmosphere that feels almost sacred in its stillness. The slopes rise in smooth, ancient curves, and the colors shift subtly, from silvers and greens to golden browns depending on the time of day. Travelers sometimes think island mountains will feel small or unimpressive, but Harris proves the opposite with its dramatic ridgelines and sweeping views that open suddenly as you climb. The wind carries a cool freshness from the sea, blending perfectly with the mountain air. Standing at the top feels almost meditative, with the ocean stretching in every direction like a distant, shimmering border. If Great Britain just surprised you with how much it hides beyond the famous landmarks, imagine how many more quiet wonders are still waiting to be found in its mountains, forests, and coastlines. If you enjoyed discovering the side of Britain most people never see, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing which hidden spot caught your imagination. Your support helps the channel grow and gives me the chance to bring you even more of the world's overlooked treasures. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next journey.